You're watching Play Unplugged TV.
From PlayUnplugged.com, and I'm here with Max Michael from StrataMax Games. Here, StrataMax Games is here at Origins. They're showing off some of their board game products. And Max, could you tell us a little bit about Days of Steam?
Days of Steam was originally released by us. We've licensed it to Valley Games, and they've done a great job with the production. Really happy with it. It is a tile-laying game. You have a hand of 3 tiles, which are track tiles. The game starts with one city in the middle and your locomotive on that city. As you play tiles from your hand, you put steam points on that locomotive, and that lets you move your train. Of course, since it's a train game, it's all about delivering the goods. So you try to deliver the yellow cubes to, guess what, the yellow cities.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what in the overall goal? You're transporting goods. Like, what are the win conditions? Like, how many goods do you have to transport?
Well, you've got to get 13 points, and there's a number of ways to get points. You deliver goods; all the goods are worth 2 points, but there's 4 different colors. If you get different colors, you get bonus points. So you play to 13 points, and the quickest way to do that, if the cubes come out in the right way, is to deliver 1 of each color: red, yellow, blue, and green.
Oh, that's really cool. What I'm understanding then is that the trains can deliver to different cities. It's not like your train is specifically linked to one specific color.
No, you have a train. It's not any of those colors, and it's your job as that train engineer to move your train, use your steam as most effectively as possible, most efficiently as you can, to deliver those goods to those cities.
What are some of the ways that you can, in the competitive play aspect, are there ways for you to block other people's railroads or control them?
Well, who would ever do such a mean thing like that? But since you bring it up, yes, to pass a train takes an additional steam point, and you can't stop in the same area as another train. And if I see you working on a really good route that's going towards some really good cities with some goods that match those colors, I just might happen to play a hill on your route or a curve, and those things will cost you more steam and slow you down. It would just be an accident, I'm sure.
So there's definitely some competitive aspects to it, but at the same time, you guys are there. It's not a direct, obviously, because we're working on it's kind of a rail wars type of situation. There's no trains blowing up or anything like that.
No, there's no real violence except between the players when those hills show up, or I happen to take that city that has the destination, say a blue city, and you've got blue goods near it. I just happen to pick that city and put it on the other side of the board.
I'm sure that does frustrate. I'm sure that does frustrate players, but in the best kind of way, I think.
Well, I think so. Otherwise, you're just playing solitaire. So there's a lot of interaction with. You've got to watch what the other players are doing. You want to maximize your track, and you've got some interesting decisions. On your turn, you either play a tile or you move your train. So you want to get the tiles laid down in a way you like before other people can, but you also got to play offense, build your route. You got to play a little bit of defense too, and not let somebody just leave them alone, or they'll get up to 13 points in a hurry.
Sounds really good. How many players does it support?
2 to 4, and it scales very well.
And play times?
About 45 minutes. For those train gamers that are used to taking all day to play a game, it's a 45-minute train game where you get to lay track and move goods in 45 minutes. And this is the train game where you actually get to move the choo-choo. Most train games, you just make the track, you put a marker on it, that's my track. There's no choo-choos moving around the board. So in this one, the locomotives move.
That's actually very satisfying. And I think the other aspect, having a 30 to 45-minute game in today's, as adults, we all have these other obligations. I think that's really nice.
And the play system is only one choice to make between 2 things: play a tile or move your train. So it's very easy to get into very quickly, and it supports younger gamers or folks without a lot of experience, non-gamers, to come in because all they have to do, play a tile or move your train. There's not an overwhelming number of choices. The analysis comes in what tile should I play, where should I play it exactly, and watching where the goods are on the board.
That's really great because in my experience, I feel like games like this, the best kind of games are the ones that have kind of a streamlined mechanic that you can pick up quickly, but when you're looking at the pieces, then comes in this deeper depth of strategy.
Right, so you're in playing very quickly, but to play it very well, it takes some experience and some thinking behind it.
That sounds great. Are there any other games that StrataMax has right now at the convention that you want to talk about?
Well, we have the expansion for Days of Steam called Locomotives, and that gives your locomotive some additional powers. Currently, in the original game, the locomotive only can carry 6 steam. So we have the big boiler that goes up to 8 steam. Now that's handy when you're playing tiles. You may be at 6 steam already. You can only hold 6 steam in a regular engine, but you really want to get that tile down where somebody else can't put some like hill or something on you. So you want to get that last tile down to complete your circuit or to get it to a city. And you want to get that done right away. But if you've already got 6 steam, you're not going to get the steam off of that tile. You're going to blow off steam. You're wasting movement points. With the 8 boiler, you've got a little more capacity that takes the heat off that decision a little bit. The coal tender modification lets you stop at coal stations that are included in the expansion, and you get more coal when you stop at the coal station than somebody without a coal tender.
Oh, cool. So yeah, so you open up the game a little bit and add a lot of extra, add some nice new mechanics to it.
Yes, and there's also factories in the expansion. You draw a blue factory, you put 1 blue good on it, it's only going to make 1 blue good. But where to put that on the board to your advantage and not to someone else's. And it is a great advantage if you can work it all out, which takes a lot of planning to get that factory in the right spot where you're going to be able to pick the good up, no one else is, and it's near a blue city. And while you're doing all that, that factory tile's taking up room in your hand, and you've only got 3 tiles. So you're not going to have the flexibility to build that route or to interfere with other people's routes along the way. So do you hold on to this until you can set the board up right, or do you really want the flexibility with your different tiles?
Max, this all sounds really great. What are the retail on these?
Well, we've got a special at the show, and I believe that Days of Steam, I don't have my price list, it is $29, I want to say. I forget.
That's okay.
It is a special price at the show. It's basically less than any online retailer, and you don't have to pay shipping.
No problem, no problem. And if
I remember now, it's 32, and the expansion is 7. That gets us to 39. That's the 9 that was stuck in my head.
The expansion is 7.
The expansion's only 7 here at the show.
Wow, that's a fantastic deal.
Yeah, I think so. Valley Games is really wanting to support Origins. Wanting to be here, wanting to support the customers by having special deals. I know Valley Games folks really well. You've already paid to come to the con. We want to give you as good a deal on the product as we can because we want to support the con and support the customers. So you get both the expansion and the base game for $39.
That's fantastic. One last question: if people can't make it to Origins, what's a website they could go to look at the product if they want to get it from their LGS or wherever?
I'd say go straight to the Valley Games website. They've got a list of retailers that carry their games, and you can order it direct from them.
That sounds great. Is their web address just www.valleygames.com?
Just search for Valley Games; they'll pop right up.
Excellent, Max. It's been a great interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.